Usually you see them all the way down there. You figure that they're pretty much screwed. You see David still up on the north on the mainland side, just throwing bullets out, maybe hoping to land something into PJ Renegades, but not gonna
happen.
Not gonna be happening, unfortunately for him. But Renegade's gonna go ahead and run across this beach, Normandy style, serpentine, Renegade, serpentine, and that's gonna be David going out to blue. The blue always, as always, undefeated in this match. And that's going to be one up, managing to get all at least 3 players over onto this mainland. So, well done by them, showing the patience to wait it out until they could get find the opportune moment to make their way in. And the new circle has popped. Going to be falling I guess Regal Reserve, probably the closest thing that you could call to centered here, as we have Trifecta is going to be holding out the last 2 remaining members of Noble. Honey Badger Nation still having that high ground on the south side, a little bit split up. Happy Campers holding it down in that building. Meanwhile, Hooligans trying to do the long flank. They're going to run right into Honey Badger.
This is going to end in disaster, but Fudge is just going to wait it out. His bike's incoming. He's going to take the easy kills. He sprays, misses a ton of bullets, manages to stop down one, sprays down onto Allergen, and does take him out. Godspeed will be able to get the trade back on him at the very, very least. Fudge traded back, and now he continues to push onto Viku's angle. In fact, he's going to finish off Fudge, giving no information to the Honey Badger Nation side. Losing one of his teammates, he's now got Trimsy on the other side, so they can try and close in the gap. He might also pick up his teammate, but Viku's certainly ready and waiting for the bait. He takes down Godspeed, that's 2 knocked, and just Shimzy alone. He already drove past, they've got the information on that player. They just don't know if there's a 4th one in play. And as soon as they figure this out, they're just going to sweep in, get these kills, close things out, leave 1 player for the Hooligan side. No information towards that south side. Tried to go for a quick wrap around. In the end, they end up paying for it with 2 players down, and now just 1 left to represent them.
It was well played by both squads. Well played by Godspeed. As soon as Allergen started taking the shots, Godspeed deciding to stop instead of chasing after them and returning fire, getting that down and the flush for Hooligans. But well played by Honey Badger by providing support, getting that last kill onto those 2 Hooligans members. Company Man going to go down to Draft here. Draft needs to be careful. No, Renegades is going to get him with the DP. Teflon's now all by himself in this house. Should be able to get the res onto Company Man here. So you throwing out the shots, the pre-firing the corner just in case. Teflon can't really do much here. He could run out. Oh yeah, he can. There it is. They heard it too.
He tries to take the face. No, he's getting the kills.
He was swapping guns. Well played by Teflon. He waited just long enough to know that the res was going to be coming off, and he popped out at just the right time. Unfortunate for Renegades that he went for the weapon swap, and it just got in trouble there. You could tell he heard it. He stopped the res as soon as he heard Teflon jump out, but there wasn't really anything he could do about it at that point.
A little bit too late. Should have accounted for that window. I guess they were expecting it to be the door, but not to be in this case. A fantastic turnaround from Teflon. They get himself another placement higher and to keep his team in play for potentially even more, because all the teams on the south side are now going to have to start closing in on each other. Particularly, I'm looking at Honey Badger Nation and the Happy Campers. Both teams need to make their way out of the high ground advantage and now move on to each other. In fact, Honey Badger Nation are going to make it their sole objective to try and take these players down. Grizzly, in particular, spotting out one, tagging him up and shutting him out, getting a spray shot to take him down for good. So a 3 versus 3 scenario. Now, Honey Badger Nation got to worry about their flanks because now they're taking shots in from the long-range positions. Got to be ready for this, and I think they have just quickly realized the mistakes that they have made. Try to get some hard cover behind these trees, but also stay wary. Happy Campers could push on these guys at any second, and that's exactly what Nuisance is going to do. Take down Grizzly, look for Microfire, look for Viku as well, but he might be able to take down Viku right here. Double kill, double knock for Nuisance. Now looking for the triple. If he can find it on Microfire, indeed. Well, not quite, actually. It's Levi gets that final frag, but regardless, it is a team wipe from the Happy Campers. Honey Badger Nation down in 8th.
Well played there by the Happy Campers, playing that super aggressively. As soon as they got the down, I'm gonna slap Alex G on the wrist there. You can't go prone there, buddy. You can't go prone. Play aggressively. Don't wuss out. But they do manage to end up getting the team wipe onto Honey Badger Nation. The Happy Campers now has this high ground on the south side to themselves. They do have to make their way into circle, and they have to be careful about snakes coming up behind them. Meanwhile, you can see Team 16, Regal Reserve, still holding down these compounds on the side of the road. But I gotta like Elusive's position right now. They have the compound in the center and the compound on the north side. If they can then make their way over to this shack in the middle, provide some kind of cover here, they could have the entire center of this circle to themselves. Filthy, they get taken very low. Can pull off a little bit. No, Shrimsy, and this is what I was talking about. You got to be worried about the stakes.
Just trying to see if we can tag up. Atom doesn't seem towards the right-hand side, low on HP, tagged up to the blue, and he will go falling. Fortunately for the Happy Campers, they won't be able to get the res on Levi. No, he's a little bit too far outside of the save zone, so they will be at least limited to a bit of a spanner thrown in the works for this squad, and there it is. Airwaken is getting the kill after the fact. Levi down. Now it's 2 players left for the Happy Cappers, and actually Regal Reserve are going to try and scout out, push on him. We can see Keenan, supported by his teammates, now getting aggressive, getting some nades out against those guys. In fact, it actually lands on Atom. He's down. Oh, the follow-up one as well. Keenan, the master of the reads. And while Happy Campers were able to recover the scenario a few moments ago, they end up falling to the Vultures that sweep in.
Great nades coming out of Keenan. Great aggressive play. He heard the gunshots. He had to assume that there was something going on just to that. So instead of just holding down his position in this compound, he decided to take the ballsy maneuver and go out there and push it and see what he could find. And boy, he found Honey Badger Nation or not Honey Badger Nation. It wasn't Honey Badger Nation. It was I don't know. It's a team that's dead now. So Keenan coming out with 2 kills there. Great play from them. So gotta wonder what Protege is gonna do here. He's got to make his way in from the sniper tower across a wide open field. Unfortunately for him, Teflon as well in a tough position. I think this is just going to come down to Team 16 and Team 12. This is Regal Reserve and Elusive. They both have 3-man strong, playing, just holding on each side of the road here. So they don't have to move just yet, but Protege has to try to figure out something. He does have a little bit of a terrain he can play with here. If he wanted to, he could try to work his way maybe uphill, maybe find himself in the trees, make it a little bit more difficult to land the shots on them. But yeah, he's in some trouble here. And at this point, you kind of got to worry about, you think about using smokes to try to conceal yourself, try to give yourself a little bit of cover. But at this point, throwing smokes out is basically like, throwing a highlighter on yourself and saying, hey, look here, there's a guy here, by the way, in case you didn't know. Yeah, Protege going to make his way, wrapping around down south. No smokes coming out. He's just going to try to play it on foot here. Teflon, meanwhile, has thrown out the smokes, giving himself cover, but also letting everybody know where he is. Protege going to try to make this run. This is the longest run, the scariest run. The shots are coming out.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he managed to make it.
He's actually been inadvertently covered by Regal Reserve. They got some damage onto Elusive. So Protege actually getting a little bit lucky in that case, getting right inside the safe zone thanks to this covering fire. And again, I'm pretty sure that was not intentional from the Happy Campers. I'm almost certain about that much. Meanwhile, Teflon also making some noise over to that northern position may have also drawn the attention of Elusive, who are now out in the open. 2 players who don't have any more hard cover. We'll get some nades on the Teflon's position. He's got a rock of his own, right? But again, these 2 solos able to make their way up as a result of the distractions being caused by other teams, plus a little bit of their own efforts as well. But Teflon may be in a bit more trouble because this is the position which Elusive want to push up onto first.
Yeah, Teflon has all of Regal Reserve knowing exactly where he is, and I'm gonna go to my grave saying this. Right now, the only one who knows where Protege is Teflon. But none of these other 3-man squad have any idea where he is. Teflon, meanwhile, had to use the smokes to try to get to the rock to do whatever he can. But by doing so, he kind of had to let this entire team Elusive know where he is. So you can see the shots coming in from long range from Regal. Ooh, was that a pan hit? That might have been a pan hit there. It's Owenbear trying to take whatever shots he can. They're just throwing bullets into these smokes, seeing what they can find. But meanwhile, all of Elusive has managed to make it to this shack. Unfortunately, the shack not in this next circle. I don't believe.
It's Teflon. Oh, Teflon caught outside of the blue. He's going to get taken out by Enex. Spotted 1 man from the Regal Reserve squad and realized very quickly that he had to get that kill or die trying. I mean, lost first aid kit. That was a bit of a blunder coming through. That might be a chance now For
Somebody thought that
Elusive
was
to
a
try and
smoke.
pick them apart very clearly. Someone threw the wrong kind of nade.
I swear I have smokes on 5, and I know I hit 5. Unfortunately, not going to be. Oh, Eric going to go down to the zone now, so that's actually Fizzle in a lot of trouble. And Owenbear going to reap the benefits here. That's going to be all of Team 12 now. I think they have 1 player left remaining. He has spotted out Protege as well. Protege can't do anything behind, behind this tree. But this is going to be Owenbear and Highfix right now. The last 2 remaining. Oh, and Highfix is going to go down. It's a 1v1v1. And it's now Owenbear versus Protege. Protege has the tree to work with. I don't think he knows where Owenbear is right now. Owenbear has a great defilade to work with here on the side of the road, but it's just down to a 1v1 between Protege. They don't have any kills on this squad. He will pick that one up, though. That's going to be 1. So what can Protege do? Owenbear has the ridge line to work with, and I gotta believe that Owenbear has actually a better position. Oh, Protege not gonna land the shot. Grenade's going to come out. It's not going to be far enough. Going to throw the stun. Will the flashbang be enough?
Oh, he's been spotted and lots of damage done. First aid kit, and now Proje's being caught off by the blue. He's out in the open. No chance on that one. Winner, chicken dinner to the Regal reserve squad. Just barely hold on by Owenbear. And again, that 1v1 came down to just zone advantage. The fact that the blue was closing on a Protege. I think maybe he might have had a bit more of a chance there if Owenbear didn't have the kind of map control that he did. But well played from him to pick off the elusive side, because those kills in particular pretty much nearly guaranteed them the victory there.
Yeah, let's see what our analyst has to say. Take it away, boys.
Yeah, that game coming down to the 1v1, that was pretty sick. I kind of wish he was able to hit that Car9 shot. That would have been quite the way to end the game, in my opinion. But what did you think of that game there, Crims?
Yeah, I mean, the end was awesome. I mean, some nice shots coming out from all 3 teams there. Yeah, I respect the Car98 play in the final circle. A lot of players will just go to the M4, you know, the tried and tested, but he went for the big play. It didn't pay out, but you know, I respect that. Yeah, I mean, I was all ready to say basically that Elusive had made a really good push into the center of the circle a couple of phases before, took that, you know, that shack in the center of the circle, and I was going to say that was the winning play, but at the end of the day, you got to outfrag the other teams, and they weren't able to do that. You know, they got taken down by Owenbear with the hip fire M4 close range, which was pretty nutty actually. And yeah, nice end.
Yeah, it's nice to see someone actually using the hip fire plays in competitive PUBG. It feels like everyone has this like stigma that you have to ADS in order to hit those shots, but the you know, just doing the regular aim down is a lot more accurate than people give it credit for. I've actually been practicing that a lot myself in the training map, and you know, it can come in handy just like it did for him there. But the story of the game here for me, Elusive being able to come out in 3rd place out of all of that, because right now at the beginning of the day, Elusive was sitting at 32nd on the leaderboard, which is unfortunately for them dead last. So being able to come out today in day number 3 and pick up a 3rd place is big for them. It's going to be able to give them at least 4 or 5 positions in the overall leaderboard. We'll see when the points come out, but very well played for them. They would have liked to have a 1st, but oh well. But let's take a look at some replays here.
Yeah, I mean, the classic first blood in most games, right? Go for the cars. It doesn't work out. I think this was probably an AFK right at the end of the path here. That's unfortunate. This was a nice little hold, and I was hoping the Belfast would maybe pull out a kill or 2 for his efforts, but sadly he wasn't able to. Not much you can do about that.
Yeah, and then Lampalot, poor guy, getting caught out in the ocean by Team 1UP. There was just nothing he could do there. Just put some bullets in the boat, make it blow up, and there you go. He's dead.
Yeah, when your only bit of cover is also explosive, you're kind of screwed at the point already. This was actually a really nice fight. I like this play on the edge of the circle by both teams, to be fair. I mean, Noble came out on top at the end, but it could have really gone either way during the fight. There was a lot of these fights on the hills. It's kind of really difficult to play these fights when you have to kind of just peek those edges, and there's no obvious cover where your enemy's going to be. They could peek up at any point. We had a lot of that in these final circles. So, yeah, they did well to win the fight, and any team winning a fight in those situations is doing well.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And here's another one. Fudge getting the spray down on Allergen as he was coming down on the bike. Couldn't kill him fast enough, though, because right around the corner was Godspeed, who got a nice trade off of him, and that helped them survive a little bit longer. Honey Badger Nation later on getting wiped out, unfortunately. But as you can see here, Viku taking out Godspeed, who wiped Fudge. So, I mean, this was a good fight as well. Like you said, a lot of fights were happening along the ridges. I found that, I find that in-game, when you're trying to take fights, these ridges can be super valuable, but they're also super hard to fight on because there's so much verticality. Trying to get eyes on everyone that might be shooting at you is pretty tough. Another crazy fight, though, right here, I wanted to talk about. Frag Nation, they missed the first game. And I thought they were done for sure in this fight, which would have put them at a bad spot on the leaderboard. But Giraffe getting that knock on Company Man, and then Teflon being able to survive and surprise PJ, pushing around that corner out of the building. That was a crazy play. And as you can see here, yeah, PJ just, thinks he's safe to go for the res, but Teflon's like, nah, I'm coming for you, and catches him in the weapon swap.
Yeah, you just don't expect the aggression. Like, you tagged him already. You think he's going to be sat in there healing, but he's like, no way, I'm taking this fight. I know they're going to res. I'm just going to push out and go. And we actually saw some nice nade play here with the extra nade for the double kill. And as I was saying at the end of the game, this Shack by Fizzle, I thought, because he pushed up early to take this earlier on, and I thought, that piece of cover, knowing that that's going to be likely close to the final circle, would be enough. But unfortunately, yeah, they had to push out a little bit further, and ended up, as a result, just kind of losing the fights.
Yeah, and Elusive right here. We see them go from a 3-man to a 1-man in Fizzle. I think you play that differently. If I was Elusive, right? You worry a little bit less about the people that you need to shoot at and get into the zone, find that positioning so you can have better angles. If you move just a little bit earlier there, if I was Elusive, they win that fight. But here we see the 1v1 between Protege and Owenbear. Owenbear, of course, ending up winning this fight because Protege had the blue to his back, getting pushed by it. But it was still super close, almost hitting that Car9 shot on him and taking him out at the end of the game there. So, I mean, very well played by all teams near the end, but I think Elusive, if they had played that slightly different, would have taken the game.
Yeah, they could have, like we saw in the previous game, they had the upper hand, right? They were the 3-man team. They could have been pushing that, playing a bit more aggressively, holding a few more angles, but they kind of stayed back in cover, sort of uncertain of whether to push out, whether to make a move, that sort of thing. So at the end, when you're forced to make a move by the blue, that's disadvantageous to what you could be doing instead, And I think if they'd have pushed out one flank, they probably would have seen Protege and at least got themselves second place because he was obviously just snaking there. Yeah, definitely could have been a different ending with a few more aggressive choices, I guess I'd say at the end.
Yeah, no, yeah, that exactly. And another thing as well, Protege at the end there, when he threw out that flash, he did have the utility and the time to then make that push if he had the know-how to know that the blue was going to be pushing him away from that tree. I think he was putting all of his chips on red there for hitting that Car9 shot, and it just didn't play out for him. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But another thing for this game was how crazy it was that a lot of the people that were high up in the leaderboards went out so early. Like we have Check 6 went out 14th to Team Noble. Reapers went out 13th. Evil Geniuses went out 12th. Player One Esports went out